keep with the 90s, keep with the 80s, man. The 80s was the best music, right? What do you think? I mean, I don't know. That's what I think. I think the 80s were fantastic. This is 1981, the band called Soft Cell, Tainted Love.
I can't sleep at night. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a boy could give.
About the 80s, though, it was the songwriting. The songs were fantastic. I mean, the songwriting was like the pinnacle of songwriting stuff, man. So I don't know where this was. This is in, it's all in Spanish, probably down in South America. In 1981, man. I want to be a 1980s DJ, man. I'll do more of that shit, man. Fuck this news shit, man. This news is killing me, man. It's killing me. It's killing you. It's killing the country, man. This country is getting dragged down by this bad news, man. What happened to the good news? I'm going to be the guy that tells good news, but there is no fucking good news. It's all bad news, like this shit, right? This isn't actually bad news, but it is bad news if you like, if you want to see Hillary Clinton for president. This is fucking. So let's look at Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, the prophet, the right hand of the father, Trump, a political advisor to Donald Trump, was instrumental in getting Trump elected. He told Trump that the middle of the country is with you, and Trump believed him and went with it and won the election. So Steve Bannon, when Steve Bannon speaks, when Steve Bannon talks, people should listen. Steve Bannon, I told you a few months ago, Bannon was saying that Trump would be impeached and that it is a big deal, right? And he was right. Right. So now he's saying that the impeachment will be the trial of the century, and he's saying that Hillary Clinton will be the nominee via a brokered convention. Wow, those are two heavy predictions, man. He thinks it's going to be the trial of the century, and he thinks that Trump is going to be vindicated. So let's listen in his own words. It's pretty good.
And I say, you think Hillary could do this? I don't think so. They'd bring her back home. She wants to go to sleep. And now I hear she wants to run again. Wouldn't that be great? Oh.
I do believe the president heard that she wants to run again from this show, from none other than Mr. Steve Bannon here on set with me, who talked about Hillary Clinton getting back in potentially again. And also you called Bloomberg as well. So Bloomberg's in. Is Hillary going to join?
I think it's inevitable. They had a poll out today that showed Biden at like 28, Bernie 21, Elizabeth Warren in the high teens. It looks like something that's going to get to particularly with Super Tuesday, when Biden drops the nuclear weapon of his money on these folks in these big states, it's going to lead to a brokered convention.
Boom, there's the prediction right there. Steve Bannon has said that it will lead to, after Super Tuesday, it will lead to a brokered convention. What that means is basically that the Democrats, whoever, even if, for example, Bernie Sanders gets the most votes, but he doesn't get past 50% required to clinch the nomination, he doesn't clinch. So the Democrats then go to the back alley where the guys are smoking cigars in the back, and they pick a candidate and put the candidate into to be voted on, and the superdelegates have weight in that. Overthrow the will of the people. That's what a brokered convention means, and that's what Steve Bannon, the prophetic, the wismic, predictor of things, politics, just said it.
Hillary Clinton, I think, is going to come in when it's evident that none of the radical left of the Democratic Party can beat President Trump.
I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree. Bernie Sanders can win. There is a little politics sprinkled in there, but he thinks he has his pulse. He has his finger on the pulse of the Democratic stab machine, right? They are stabbing Bernie. Bernie can't get out in front of the crowd. He can't get out in front of the debates because there's so many people. It's not a conventional debate, right? Unless he pulls a Trump and just, talks over everybody and pulls his dick out. But Bernie Sanders is not going to do that. So the point is that I would disagree. I'm sorry, I'm chopping it up, but I would disagree that there is no far left candidate. The candidate is Bernie Sanders. And Trump wants to run against Hillary because it's an easy win.
Come in when it's evident that none of the radical left of the Democratic Party can beat President Trump.
Convention.
A brokered convention. I think Hillary Clinton comes in at the moment that she feels that she can step in and save the Democratic Party and try to convince people that a rematch with President Trump is the best way that they have to try to defeat President Trump. They won't beat him. Right now, there's nobody, including Hillary Clinton, out there that can beat Donald Trump.
Incorrect. Bernie Sanders can slaughter Trump.
But they're going to get desperate here because look at tonight. Nobody cares about this debate. This debate's in Los Angeles.
No, they should be watching you.
Well, I'm talking about on MSNBC and CNN and their networks. They're not running around saying this thing is great. They understand these.
He makes a good point that mainstream media is that the Democrats are not popular. They're not popular in the mainstream media. Nobody wants to watch the stupid debates because it's just a bunch of idiots talking over each other. It's too crowded. The questions are rigged. It's not real. And he makes that good point. But that's the Democrats doing it to themselves to stop Bernie Sanders.
These people not just are boring. It's not just about their star quality. It's what they're talking about is so off the mainstream. It's not connecting with people. And they're going to start getting desperate. Remember, their number one thing, Donald Trump is an existential threat to the Democratic Party, to the established order, and to the mainstream media. And
no, he's not. No, he's not, Steve Bannon. Trump is in line with the mainstream media. The evidence is in the stock market. The markets are roaring. They're breaking into new highs. Where is your evidence that the mainstream media and the establishment is against Trump? What, because they impeached him? That doesn't do anything. That hurts the Democrats. It hurts the Democrats because people look at it and say, oh, look, they're just partisan. They can't see what's right in front of their face. That Trump didn't really do anything that merits impeachment. So I would take difference to that, right? I mean, I know, look, he did make the prediction that Trump would win, and he was correct in that respect. But a lot of people saw that coming too. He also predicted that impeachment would happen. A lot of people saw that one coming too. But is he going to be correct? Is he correct now about Hillary Clinton coming in and Trump going against Hillary Clinton? The Democrats having a brokered convention. I don't know. I don't know. But what he's definitely not correct in is that there is one candidate that can beat Trump. And that's where I would take difference.
They will do anything to take him down and destroy him. Particularly, you saw last night when he's talking about to the people, hey, they're trying to come after you. They're trying to come after me to get to you. We are in this together. And you saw people respond to that. That response of that audience last night for 2 hours, that stood out for hours in 15 or 17 degree cold is quite remarkable.
What I find remarkable, and we can say this as a couple of Irishmen or Irishman and Irish woman, you think about traditional Democrats, right? And I think about my family and how my dad's family was, historically big Irish Catholic family, and you were a Democrat like you were Catholic, like exactly. It was part of your religion, right? And and if you were lucky enough, you got a job in the union, and so there was a feeling that you always voted blue, and that has changed.
That last night you saw that. He's connected with working class. Listen, it's the reason he won Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Iowa.
Not if Bernie Sanders is in there. Bernie will swing that shit blue.
States they never thought we'd win again, and altogether, because he went and he got, Democrats, blue-collar Democrats to vote for him, and they believe in him, and they're seeing, here's the thing, they're seeing the manifestation of his actions are making their lives better. The Zogby poll today.
He makes a great point about impeachment. Just listen to it. It's very interesting, his prediction on impeachment.
Said that, 53% of Democrats think that their party is spending too much time on impeachment instead of getting things done legislatively.
They got that right. And it's not just, we talk about Irish Americans. I mean, I look at the African American population right now, and you look at some of the poll numbers there, and he's doing extremely well in a way that you wouldn't really think he would with that particular population, given the media.
No, that's what the immigration policy. Remember, everything was to make sure there wasn't more labor pressure on African Americans and Hispanics. That's why you're seeing the approval rate. I think it's 34% of African Americans approved now by Pew. and 36% of Hispanics? Because you're seeing wages starting to rise. The unemployment's at historic lows. Wages starting to rise. That's why I think it's so important. Since they've smeared him in this process, he didn't get to call any witnesses. And this trial, and I think this trial will be it's going to be the trial of the century. And
the trial of the century. Another prediction. Here we go.
Mainstream media is going to be all over it. That's why I think it's so important, not just for his legacy, but for his presidency and his second term. He's got to engage in this. He's got to take them on. He's got to have the whistleblower. We have to have the Bidens in front of the nation and the world. They're going to have to stand and deliver under oath, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And I think that's going to lead to an exoneration, not just an acquittal, but an exoneration of President Trump. And that's what I think
trial of the century.
Definitely the trial of the century.
Wow. So he's predicting that the Democrats are smearing themselves and will smear themselves in court, the Senate, the court, that will ultimately happen now that the House has impeached Trump and moves to the Senate. They have a trial, and he's saying that the Democrats will hurt themselves by having to force Biden to testify, and also take to have a long, lengthy hearing, so that it takes the Democrats off the primary trail and sit there. Two senators, Sanders and Warren, will have to sit there and listen to this bullshit. Amy Klobuchar, if she's still around as well.
Wow. A lot of people are worried. Well, you get John Bolton. What is he going to do? What is John Bolton going to say? What is this one going to say? What is that one going to say? What do you say to those concerns?
The president, the call was Afghanistan papers, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump has stood up. The reason those people cheer for him, it's before the world, Donald Trump can get his day in court.
And you call them all. Hey, disruption. Right, it is the decade of disruption, and you're one of the
that's all I wanted to say about that. So Mark's Conte reporting it is interesting. You got to watch the guys that have been right in the past, right? You look at the Democrats lean on Nate Silver, the idiot that predicted Hillary Clinton would win by landslide, and so Biden is saying that. I find it interesting that the Democrats could in fact make this happen, which is a brokered convention, and they'll certainly lose. It's a losing strategy, right? The winning strategy is to back the most popular candidate in the country, the most popular politician in the country, Bernie Sanders, and win and beat Trump handsomely. But they're not going to do that, right? So he might be right. I mean, well, Hillary fucking Clinton. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the scene with Hillary Clinton running against Trump again? What a turnoff. What a despicable, ugly, nasty thing that we'll have to watch, repeat itself over and over again. That's just horrible, man. But, at least we got Soft Cell, man. At least we got music to bring us back to reality.
Now I know